The first name that comes to mind when we talk about the Yiddish theater is Sholem Aleichem. Many of his works, such as David the Milkman, Stamp Manu, Mortal, Basil the Cantor's Son, have been staged in numerous theaters around the world. In one of his critical works called Shomer's Mishpat, Sholem Aleichem accused Nahum Shaikevich, an author of shund literature that has trivial and sensational storylines, of borrowing his plots from popular foreign literature. Sholem Aleichem claimed that the Yiddish literature was a folk literature and that the main characters had to be drawn from the folk masses. Similar to literature, the theater evolved from a little bit shund culture that wasn't accepted by the religious community. Later, it became a means of raising social problems and cherishing a sense of national identity. The Yiddish theater is found in the folk tradition and has its roots in Purim Spiel, a dramatization of the Book of Esther performed during Purim. A theatrical company consisted of 5 to 12 people. The cast was fixed and the youth took over the role from their parents. The history of the Yiddish theater can be traced back to the beginning of the 16th century. The oldest play, called Ahasverosh Spiel, survived in the Jüdische Merkwürdigkeiten, published in 1714. Music played an important role in the Yiddish theater, and songs almost entirely replaced any spoken dialects. Kiev, Alman Kiev, in the capital of Ukraine, life is in full spring. We are building a new theater. In 1918, a cultural organization called Kulturlig was established in Kiev. Its main aim was to promote Yiddish culture in all spheres, including literature, education, art, and theater. It was subdivided into several sections. The most important one was the artistic section. It brought together Abraham Manevich, Salman Nikritin, Issachar Beribak, Joseph Chaikov, and Mark Epstein. Mark Epstein, an artist, sculptor, and stage designer, was born in Bobruisk in 1899, but spent the greatest part of his life in Kiev, in one of these houses. Mark Epstein executed stage design for plays in Gosset and Kunstwinkel, among them a series of costume sketches for Goldfaden's play Zwei Kuni Leblech that are kept in the National Art Museum of Ukraine. Now we are on Krishchatik, the main street of Kiev that is highly connected with the history of the Jewish theater. In 1921, a theater called Okneip, The Beginning, was established by Semen Semdor. Semdor is an important figure not only in the history of the Jewish theater, but he also connected with Melody Theater. Semen Semdor, Les Kurbas, and Nat Yura were its creators. At this theater, a controversial play, God of Vengeance by Sholem Ash, The Golden Chain by Itzhok Peretz, and King Hunger by Leonid Andreev were staged. Another theater called Kunstwinkel was established by Rudolf Zaslavsky in Poltava. In 1922, the theatrical group moved to Kiev. At first, The actors had to give their performances in different places, but later a building in the vicinity of the Bessarabsky market was allotted to the theater. In 1932, architect Joseph Karekis started his new project, a building for Gosset. It had to be a great example of a constructivist style with a bas-relief composition and inscription in Yiddish. 1934, the construction was temporarily stopped and the architect had to develop a new variation of the facade. Unfortunately, Karakis didn't manage to finish his project. In 1940, the project was ruled out by the government. However, the history of Gosset that was established in 1929 continued. There was a succession of several directors that contributed to the development and prosperity of the Jewish State Theatre. Moses Goldblatt navigated the theatre through one of the hardest periods of modern history. He's an actor, honored artist of the RSSR, the Kazakh SSR, and the Ukrainian SSR, an artistic director of the oldest of Romani theatres in the world. First play staged here was Shmuel Halkin's historical tragedy Bar Kokhba, based on Abraham Goldfeiden's eponymous play. Abraham Goldfeiden is the founding father of the modern Jewish theatre. In 1876, he established the first professional Yiddish-speaking theatre troupe. Among his famous plays are Die Kischefmacher and Shulamis. Among other popular plays are Uriel Acosta and one masterpiece of the English comedy, The Merchant of Venice, that exists in numerous adaptations. In 1936, Merchant of Venice was staged in Kiev. Alexander played the role of Shylock. Alexander Granach was born Shaya Granach in Verbowitz. As a young boy, he came to Berlin and rose to the theatrical prominence there. He fled to the Soviet Union when the Nazi came to power in Germany. However, Granach got between the devil and the deep sea because in 1937 he was arrested by the Soviet government. Leon Feuchtwanger asked Stalin to set Granach free. Soon, the Second World War began, and the theatre was evacuated to Central Asia. After the war, the rest of the troupe returned only to see that both buildings belonging to Gosset had been destroyed. The theatre moved to Chernivtsi. In the theatre's 20th anniversary season, many events took place. In March, the patriotic play Ich Leb by Pinchinsky was staged. It was about the fight of the people of Israel against fascism. However, it came under attack for being too nationally limited. Later, a lawsuit against Pinchinsky was initiated, and even a panel of writers was created to review the author's works. The 20th anniversary of Kiev Jewish State Theatre. It was a historic day, and many prominent guests came to Kiev. Solomon Michaels was among them. He presented Goldblatt with a crystal vase filled with seeds and held a powerful speech. You can see this vase is filled with seeds. I brought them so that you can sow them at Babiyar, where the innocent blood was shed. Let these flowers that will bloom there remind people about the victims of the most horrible crime of the Nazi Finns. This day, the name of Sholem Aleichem was given to the theater. On the 7th of October, the legendary play David the Milkman was staged. It had unprecedented success. However, it didn't last long. In the 1948, the anti-cosmopolitan campaign began. The theater was going through a very difficult time. On the 28th of January 1948, the article entitled about one anti-patriotic group of theater critics appeared. The campaign reached its apotheosis on the night of the murdered poets, the execution of 13 Jewish poets, intellectual and cultural figures. However, the history of the Jewish theater in Kiev hasn't finished yet.